Welcome to the Real Estate 401k Show. Here are your hosts, Ryan Gertis, Mike Weinstein, and Justin Frederick, helping you build a legacy of wealth through real estate. Powered by the Recon Group at West USA and the Frederick team with Fairway Mortgage. NMLS number 625918.
We are so lucky 2 weeks in a row to be in studio. And it's interesting that we're wearing the same clothes, right?
Well, I still
And the
have.
same drink.
This is kind of the same cocktail, but not totally. Just so
Remix,
clear,
yeah.
But we are in a studio with one of our favorite human beings on the face of the planet. His name is Steve de Laveaga, and again, he's our coach, our mentor. And brings so much value to not only Ryan and I as team leaders, and we are, because I know this is a little bit of a diversion to what we're talking about on a regular basis. So we're moving from just talking about real estate and investing in real estate, but really going into something that can apply to just about anyone, but especially I know we have a lot of top producing agents and a lot of agents that watch this and a lot of team leaders that watch it. But I was thinking about you, as a coach, there's two types of players. Well, there's probably multiple types of players, but there's the players that listen, and there's the players that don't listen. And there's a variety of reasons why they don't listen. They don't trust the system, or they don't trust the coach. And I think one of my biggest takeaways, because I think in all my years, I've never been with someone who's just, I hate to say it, but you're in our face. Mm-hmm. You're sometimes not nice, But one thing that Ryan and I trust is you always have our best interest in mind. So that's part of it. And I remember one time, Ryan and I would go through this back and forth. Do we really want to grow the team, or do we just want to stay where we're at? Focus on our investing.
I remember this conversation.
We're happy with, the 25 real estate wealth managers we have on our team. At times we've envisioned having 100, and we're like, we just don't want to go through it. And I can't repeat the exact word, but it was
this podcast editing these bad words out?
But it was something to the effect of, you guys are effing crazy. You need to be recruiting. And our response to you was, it sounds great, because it wasn't just your one-liner to us. Our response was, our onboarding process is so labor-intensive. The thought of growing to that team to that magnitude we just had no interest in it. And then again, you guys are effing crazy. All you got to do is streamline it. Do everything.
One to many. Knock this one-to-one shit off. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and do everything in groups. And so I guess as a coach, do you have that rapport? And it's more than just the one-liners, but really just kind of bringing into how you make sense out of it.
What we have to, and everybody's shaped by their background, right? You and I talked about sport, and Mike and I talked about with Mindy and mindset. I believe in being honest rather than gentle. And by honest rather than gentle,
shut the front door.
He'll give you all the sugar when you're not talking shop.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
when you're talking shop,
I'll talk family
no
and everything
bullshit.
else. Well, here's why. You guys are too important to me as partners in relationships to blow smoke up your ass about blah, blah, blah. Let's be honest rather than gentle. And what I knew was we get in our own way with, well, look at our production per agent. No one gives a shit. No one gives, what we care about? What's in your bank account? What's net money and what's growth? That's it, the end. Everything else is all noise if you really want to be great. So when you, let me see your counter. How much time is talking about for recruiting? Oh, people just come to me. That's code for none of it's intentional. It's all accidental. It's going to stop at some time. So once we got real about it, you guys like, okay, I'm going to actually recruit. And as soon as you started putting it on your calendar, started making proactive calls, started thinking every time I talk to somebody, could they be a partner in my business? Immediately what you focus on grows, and it happens. So in my world, I always say, has my relationship earned the right, because I have to earn that right with you guys, to tell you the truth, even if I know you're not going to like the answer. And then when you argue it, most people go, all right, it's your business, do whatever. I'm like, a complete horse shit. Because I have 6,000 agents. I have 700 teams, with the average team does $72 million. And I've got 5 teams over $500 million. I've got 2 teams over $1 billion. I know exactly what they do, and none of them ever said, I care about my per agent production. No one gives a shit. They're like, I'm going to create the best scoreboard for accountability. I'm going to drive everyone into a boot camp, military style, 90 days, and whoever comes out, I'm going to overinvest in them with leads, training, coaching, and opportunity. Everybody else has self-selected out, and that's just fine. My only job is to keep bringing recruits to the beach to figure out who can swim to the other side. Once they get real with that, Sajit, Lori, Reader, a bunch of these people that have done this, they figured out quickly, man, my only job is to keep bringing talent to the table and then let talent choose. Because you and I we've had people you brought in, you've gone, Mike, this guy can't miss. He's perfect. He checks every box. He's going to be great. He quits in 2 weeks and can't do a single thing right.
Fact.
And doesn't get out of his ass to do anything.
100%. You got a guy like doesn't comb his hair, yellow teeth. You're like, this person's got no shot. Closes 3 homes in the first 2 months, and now he's on his track to being Rookie of the Year. You don't know. So quit acting like all the vector and the CPR and the disc and all this crap. Here's what you know. Bring people to the table, give them the chance to earn whatever their actions will earn them. And that's at the end. And once you guys did that, you're becoming who you become.
Yeah, this is like another coaching session that we're getting on, and it's unreal. So whether you
we're 2 vodkas in, it could get really honest in this program.
Yeah, you might have it in your head that these coaching sessions go down in some business environment. We might be sitting in Steve's office with him pointing fingers at us.
I don't even know if he has an office.
But what
I do. It's on Churchill's and 44th, but yeah.
And that's my point exactly. Our learning goes down in environments where we're all comfortable within, because that's when we can be vulnerable, and that's when we can be more
but this is
open to growth.
This is important for you. And you listen out here, Ryan Gertis is one of the best humans I've ever met.
Oh.
We had a hard conversation.
Just ask him.
Well, he's very confident about that. No, we had a hard conversation, you and I.
I can be hard-headed.
And I asked you, and I went, you want me to just sit here and talk shit and have a cigar with you? You want the truth? You're like, no, the truth, man. I go, you're full of shit. You think you're the only guy that can go take that guy to a buyer because he knows and likes you. And we talked about the golden handoff of how you can hand that off to somebody you trained, you coach. Walk me through that.
That was exactly the point I wanted to bring up. We were sitting over there in Churchill's, and you were giving me a good what for.
Is Churchill's a sponsor of ours? Because they should be.
We expect a round and a free Davidoff when we roll in there next week.
Right.
So, yeah.
And you were telling me what time it is, and I believe that true growth happens when we're challenging each other. So but nonetheless, I was open to what you said, and I had it in my head that the only way to really give that white glove experience or that 5-star experience was if I handled it. What I learned very quickly is that it has more to do with how you implement the systems and the people and the models in order to get from A to B, B to C, so on and so forth. And that had to do with the golden handoff. I had it in my head, and this is pride.
Yeah,
Pride
sure it
fucking
is.
with
We
me,
all did.
right?
Yeah.
Like Vincent Vega, or not? What's the John Travolta?
Yeah,
in Pulp
exactly
Fiction,
right.
Or Bruce Willis. Anyhow, you get the point. Moral of the story is, it was the very next day. I had a scheduling conflict. I had clients that needed immediate representation, and so I said, all right, I'm going to give this a spin. And I created the gold. I did the text message. I did the phone call. I did the video. I implemented it all in there to introduce them over to one of our whale of real estate wealth managers. They picked it up right away. Within 30 days, we were closing escrow. The client
He thanked you for referring him.
Yeah, it was Ryan. Why didn't you just do this from the get-go? And so I ate my crow.
You did buy the next round next time we saw each other.
Right, yeah, and so that's just one of the big influences that you've had on me, and why it's so important. So, like, here's a question I got for you. Who was your influencer? Who was the person? Who was your Stevie D?
So for me, I had the blessing of being Coach Wooden and Coach Riley's head counselor for 4 years in the summer. Each of them, 4 weeks each. 8 weeks with the 2 greatest coaches in the world.
Pat Riley, that's not a bad coach.
No, both Coach Wooden and Coach Riley spoke at my senior banquet.
Damn.
Both of them come watch me play. I was drafted by the Lakers in '89, played 2 games in the preseason. My lesson came with Michael Jordan, which Riley would talk about a lot during the 80s. And he said, Michael can never beat us as long as he's taking the fourth quarter shots. That was Riley's mindset. And he was right. They never beat the Lakers until, if you remember correctly, when they won their 7th season for Jordan. They're playing the Lakers at home. Lakers down 3-1, but now the fourth quarter comes. Phil Jackson, one of the greatest spiritual and emotional leaders of all time, goes to the huddle at the start of the fourth quarter and says, Michael, who's open? He puts his head down, wipes his face. I'm at the game, sitting behind the bench. He says, Paxson. He goes, that's right. Throw it to him. Come down, first possession down. Bulls come down, throw this into Jordan. He gets double teamed, turns and shoots a fadeaway 20-footer, misses it. Jackson calls a timeout. 90 seconds into the fourth quarter, never happens. They all come to the bench. Him and the coaches stand 20 feet away. No one walks to the bench. The buzzer goes, which means there's 10 seconds. You got to go out there. No one said a word. Jackson walks over, looks him in the eye and goes, Michael, who's open? And Jordan goes like this. Paxson. You remember what happened the rest of that quarter?
I know exactly what happened.
Paxson goes 8 for 10 from the floor, scores 17 points. They blow the Lakers out in the fourth quarter, and Jordan learned that day, I'm not the only guy. Because no good team's going to let Michael Jordan beat you. They're going. Steve Kerr made a shot. B.J. Armstrong made shots. Pippen made. If you look at their championships, he made one. Everybody else was everybody else. When he learned that if I get double teamed, be ready, Steve Kerr. Be ready, John Paxson. Be ready. That's how you win championships. So to think we're the only ones that can do it, I learned, hey, who can I help make better around me such that I can have a bigger, better organization? If it's just me, it's going to be a really good little 3-person team. If not, it could be a 3,000-person team. That's the fun part.
So it's a great segue because the last topic I want to talk about is just regardless of whether you're listening to this and you're in real estate, you could be in insurance, you can be an attorney, and especially when you're new, but it doesn't even matter when you're new. You should always have a coach, always, no matter 100%. Where you're at in your production level. And I remember when I got started in 2002, God rest his soul, Mark Arns was the owner of our company, and he would talk about a mentor and a coach. I learned so much from him. But I paid I was on 50-50 split for 2 years.
Yes, sir.
I don't ever look back and regret it because of the education. And so fast forward years later, here at our brokerage at West USA, we have a coaching program. And I remember I got this email from this lady saying, I can't believe that your coaching program is going to charge me 30%. I'm going to be on a 70-30 for my first 3 transactions. And, you guys should be ashamed of yourself. And I said, well, first of all, these coaches are agents themselves, so they're taking a time away from their business to help you. And she still griped. And then I shot back to her. I go, well, let me ask you this. How long have you had your license? 6 months. How many closings have you had? 0. My response, I'm no math major. But 0 plus 0 always equals 0. How important is having a coach and a mentor? And how crippling is it to your business when you think you don't need that?
Here's the reality. Price is only ever an issue in the absence of value, right? Yeah. And so when you're talking about taking agents who haven't closed anything to something, you can shorten that one way by a year, 3 months, 6 months. That's what I have wasted by not learning fast enough is hundreds of thousands of dollars. When I've paid money to learn something, I've always gained time and ROI and back. So you're sitting out here. What I love about what you guys do is we have 690 team leaders in Rise. You guys are in the top 10 every month. So when someone goes, wow, these leads aren't working, I go, call Ryan.
Don't tell that to Ryan.
I know he knows this. I'll go, Ryan, can you talk to Jim? He's a moron from Atlanta, doesn't listen. Can you tell? And Ryan will go, well, what do you guys say? Oh, that's why every problem in real estate listening out there, every problem you have in real estate, someone's already solved it. All your job is to find the who. Well, why I love these guys is when I put them on the phone, my people that say the leads aren't good, by the time they're done, they go, oh, I've realized that I'm not good at it. I got to get better to make the leads better. Yeah. You never once told me, neither did you, the leads are bad. You said, I'm going to treat this. You guys have this great differentiator that makes you better than everybody else. You're not realtors. You are
real estate wealth managers.
So you know what that means? When you're on a golf course on the first hole, I go, what do you do? And you go, I'm in insurance. I immediately turn my head and go, oh, shit. You go, next guy. Yeah. Now, if he says, oh, I'm a realtor, now I turn my head. I don't say another word for 18 holes.
You might as well say you got leprosy.
Exactly. I might as well say, I'm an attorney looking to sue someone. What do you got going? The truth is, we say really wealth advisor, everybody who's wealthy in real estate has a real estate portfolio. Everyone, 100%. Mm-hmm. So now I'm like, well, you know what's funny? We were thinking about maybe an investment property. What do you think of that? Oh, I've helped thousands of people, which you would say, get investment properties, Steve. Oh, actually, we look at investment properties every week, on and off market. Whoa, wait, you got off market properties? Of course we do. See, Mike and Ryan learned the only goal of the first conversation, the only goal is to create a second conversation. Oh, I'm an ABR, CRS, GRI, no one gives a shit, blah, blah, blah. No one cares. I'm a real estate wealth advisor. Hold on, what exactly is that, Mike? What does that do?
Yeah, and
because everybody wants to know what's in it for them, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so if we're there as their partner in order to help them build growth and pass
wealth.
down and wealth down to the legacy to their kids' kids and their kids' kids, then hell yeah, they want to have a conversation about that, and as do I.
What's that other thing you said, Mike? You said, oh, if you don't care about money and building wealth, we're the wrong agent for you.
we start off every conversation with agents and with clients. Do you like money? And you don't have to like money. That's okay. It's just if you don't like money, I'm not going to make sense to you.
It's going to be a weird conversation.
Yeah.
See, what everybody out there listening, they have defined how to be better and different, which is why they keep growing and keep attracting more people. If you sound like everyone else, everybody's muted. Don't put your photo up with all of your GRI. No one cares.
No one cares.
They care, can you make them wealthy? Hold on, I want to have another conversation about that. Oh, what does a wealth advisor mean? Can you help me buy investment property? See, whatever your message is it better and different than what the other 90% say? Well, you guys have done it. Congratulations.
All right, this is Stevie D. Steve, thank you so much for joining us. If you are, especially in the real estate space, and you're a top producer, but more importantly, you're running a team, a title company, whatever the case is, and you want to learn more about what Stevie D does and how he can transform your business like he's transformed the Recon Group. And I don't say that word lightly. I don't use it loosely. We want you to go ahead and text the word coach to 623-AZ-RECON. That's coach to 623-AZ-RECON. If you just want to flat out and you want to just say, hey, yeah, I like money. I want to learn how to build wealth in real estate. Go ahead and text the word wealth to 623-AZ-RECON. That's wealth to 623-AZ-RECON. And if you can't spell the word wealth, probably not our cup of tea.
Thank you for joining us on the Real Estate 401k Show. If you want more information on how to build wealth, click on the link or text us at 623-297-3266. That's 623-AZ-RECON.